I've been to the church that housed it, apparently. The story goes. Be me, not so bad MF. World War II breaks out. We invade France, no resistance. Pussies. Stationed in France, get new mission from Hitler himself. Hitler says it's super secret and super important to him, the Reich, and God, Jesus. I'm like WTF, I love all three of those. Apparently the Pope was like, hey Hitler bro, I heard the French have a bunch of sweet-ass Jesus relics and shit, get that shit while you are there, bless you bro. Also here told relics imbue superpowers and shit. Tight, not that we need them because we are Nazis. Start asking frogs about Jesus death shit. Woe beast die crown of thorns, spear of Longinus, burial shroud, and the arc frog thanks? La church in Paris has le spear of destiny says some dork. Notre Dame? Where that retarded mutant lives? I ask. No, not Notre Dame, the smaller one. Send my homies to each small church in Paris. Finally a spy unit radios in, thinks they've the church with this beer. Go to church. Ask priests. Priests shrug and say they don't know. Use my Nazi mind-reading superpowers imbued by Himmler. Priests totally lying, I can totally tell. I roll. Roll up my sleeves on my freshly pressed Einsatzgruppen uniform, beautifully designed by a young, up-and-coming designer taking the fashion world by storm, named Hugo Boss. Beat shit out priests. Nerds finally start talking. Find spear hidden in church. Take spear. Burn down church. Head back to Berlin. Hailed a hero and promoted. Life is good. And that's the last anyone heard of it, probably in the Vatican hidden somewhere now. Paranormal experience thread, I'll start. Be me. Maybe 7 or 8. It's New Year's. Lots of people are visiting us. Big ass party. Decide to go check out the back of the house with friends. We take some shitty flashlights. When we get there we just look around for a while. While just standing there we heard laughter, giggling in the bushes and some movement. Everyone is confused I ask if anyone else heard that and they all say yes. Us being retarded 7-year-olds we decide to check it out. Move through some grass, we see nothing. Go back to the back of the house. Cue more standing and doing nothing. Then we see something black moving in the darkness. It was hunched over, but we couldn't make out more than the silhouette. We get scared, then go back to where all the adults were. We chill there for a while. At around 3 to 4 a.m. me and a buddy decide to go to bed. I had a sick-ass wooden fort that me and my dad built, and we had a 2-person tent inside there. While we were sleeping, I saw a shadow outside of the tent. It was the hunched-over thing. It moved slowly around the tent, then disappeared. Then it came back again and did the same thing. I thought it was the adults fucking with us, but after yelling at them it still continued. We fell asleep as usual, nothing really happened while we were sleeping. There was nothing in the grass when we woke up. And that's it, feel free to ask any questions, I'll try my best to answer them. Be me. Hanging out with my buddy. I live in a ruralish area with lots of plants and wild animals. We're talking about my birds. Say, Anon, you got a really nice duck. Yeah, she's been my best friend since 6 years ago. It's a windy night, so the power goes off. We don't really care, we're used to this shit due to rural area. Continue talking about random stuff. My neighbor calls me and asks if the power also went out here. I say yes and go back inside. Tell my buddy how pitch black it is. Both of us don't believe in what we're seeing since it's never been that dark before. Wind stops for a tiny weeny little while and the power comes back, but goes off again. I hear someone else calling me, but this time it isn't my neighbor's voice. I go outside and there's no one there. Come back inside shitting my pants. For a split second the lights come back and both of us see a weird figure near the door before the power going off again. Lights come back, no one's there. Lights stay on for the rest of the night. My neighbor calls me again, this time to chit-chat about the lights staying on for the last hour. I mention the power going on and off multiple times, but my neighbor says her house was fine. I look angrily at my buddy and ask if he's been pranking me the whole time. He denies. Well, if it wasn't a neighborhood-wide crazy blackout, and if it wasn't my friend pranking me, then who was flicking the lights? The figure that appeared near the door reveals itself. Me, my buddy, and my neighbor exclaim collectively. Nosferatu. Be me, around 12 at the time. Parents had a night out so I'm all alone with my dog Buddy. My mom made me watch a fucking soap opera so I can tell her what she missed. I was a fat fuck so I got real comfy on the couch with my bucket of cereal. Suddenly I hear the dog Buddy bark viciously. He was about 4 years old at the time and I only heard him bark a few times. He was a very quiet boy, mostly communicated through whining. I went to see if he is okay. He is standing frozen in place, his back hair is lifted and he looks scared af. That's odd, he's a big dog, very fearless as well. He is staring at the balcony door, still barking like he has fucking rabies or something. I look towards the balcony. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. There stood a black-veiled humanoid figure, couldn't quite see its face but I fucking knew it was staring at me. Almost shit my pants but managed to drag the dog Buddy and myself the fuck out of there. Look at the TV, the main character is fucking bawling her eyes out and I have no idea why. My mom is gonna kill me. Cereal spilled all over the carpet. I dial my dad's number with my eyes closed because I was a pussy and I knew he would believe me. Hug dog Buddy tight who was still growling quietly. They come home. Great, I can open my eyes again. My dad claims the apparition was my dead great-grandmother who came to warn me to behave at school. What the actual fuck is wrong with this moron? PNG. Mom sends me to walk the dog alone in the middle of the night because they are tired and tipsy. Those fucking assholes, man. Pic related, the thing looked almost identical to this, just the face was even more unidentifiable. We lost our way when we accepted others knew better than us how to live. I agree. Transcendence depends on our view of others. Do we believe we are especially good? A lot of people do, despite ignoring lessons of the past and shouting their virtues from their lofty sky castles. I believe I am a good person. I have erred and sinned in the past. I have dealt with real darkness and strove to return from that a better and strong me. Or are we all a mix, and the same? Neither, either, both. If money was no object I would never stop serving, because I enjoy loving on people. What public good would you provide? Do you provide a public good at all? Be honest. Yeah, I am the same. If I suddenly had great wealth, or even enough to live comfortably without worry, my free time would still be dedicated to diving into our history, religion, mythology, etc. in order to find truths. Why? In order to share those discoveries with others, restore our lost ways. As you say, we lost our way and accepted that others knew better. Would that be me teaching a new way and repeating the cycle? I endeavor to not do that now and would then, instead, to find and share the old core ways, not to enforce, but to offer the knowledge for those who wish it. What good would I provide? This, plus providing places for researchers of the same, creatives without a place in the world, researchers without funding, folks without a place to call home, etc. to live, work together, and so forth. Do I provide a public good right now? Well, a lot of what I post about is in a sense this. I am careful to not try to shatter a belief system nor be aggressive to those of faiths that I find limiting, for lack of a better word. In the past been a sports coach to children and teens, helped in my community. I still help freely when asked for services within my skill sets. However, nowadays, sharing what I learn and helping others here, there, and other places is where I'm at. This is a good thread I'll share, nothing extraordinary but it sticks in my mind. Be me move into very old farmhouse, very old barn, very old property backed up to a huge very old forest. When it swarm it's normal to see snakes everywhere. Huge garter snakes, big all black racer snakes, I even saw one that was like a scarlet snake or a coral snake. You learn to live with them, shoo them off, etc. Two-story barn, top level is all storage, bottom floor is an old auto shop for fixing cars. One day I see the biggest snake I've ever seen in my life. Girth was bigger than my forearm, easily 7-8 feet long, half coiled upstairs and on handrail and mostly just soaking up some sun. Literally fucking shocked, I just stared at it for a bit, I didn't want to bother it or kill it. Snake makes a subtle intimidating movement and his very quick motion. Snake was pretty much saying fuck off cunt, which is strange because 99% of snakes are terrified of humans and just seek cover. This one was telling me to fuck off. Year or so later I help neighbor put holiday shit in top story storage part of barn. Open door and see massive fucking snake skin in the middle of the floor. Logistically it would have been 3-4x bigger than the snake I encountered. 2 feet wide and maybe 5-6 feet long, skin shedding. Shit my pants basically because of the size and showed neighbor. We just cleaned it up and forgot about it. Makes me think nuns. It was fucking massive. So now I'm very careful when I cut my grass or use a weed whacker. Any size snake I help it chew off and escort it to safety because I don't want to kill it and be watched by maybe something bigger. Be me in 1995. 10 years old, talking to my college-aged cousin. Talking about aliens. He said his friend had a theory on aliens. Theory was that they were humans from the future, and they time-traveled back here. Abducting people and taking sperm and eggs. BC they had somehow lost the ability to reproduce. Be me in 2021. See a fake virus go around the world. Haha.jpg. See a vaccine come out. Hear about the vaccine causing infertility. Hear that everyone needs to get vaxxed. This is how it starts. We're the aliens, anon. Cunt. Be me. Been going to a resident summer camp every year since I was 10. Was a blast, usually went for 2 or 3 weeks, most kids stayed only 1. Camp has a lot of history, folklore, tradition, etc. been around almost 100 years. Every week, it was like a 1-week program, with the same program every week for the summer. There was a night hike up to the haunted area of the camp. Lone trail that loops way out to the edge of the property of camp where there are old foundations. About a half a mile in the middle of the woods away from anyone else in camp. Tell stories in the pitch black. The counselors seemed to take it very seriously, stop along the trail and look for signs we weren't welcome. Some weeks they would get all the way to the ruins, other times they would have to turn around and tell stories at the beginning of the trail. This story is really long and I could go on about it for a while. I've seen a lot of shit up there that you wouldn't believe. Be me. Middle school. The education director or whatever came up with the excellent idea of making experimentation as part of our grades. They also built huge buildings and labs for us to experiment in. Sounds good, right? Guess what? The grading process is, if you come up with different data or conclusion than the textbook, you fail. Many couldn't verify gravity as the textbook described experimentally. Teacher said your experiment must be wrong. But that means we would fail the test. As young students, we learned to lie and basically massaged our data to make the conclusion match exactly 9.8 meters/s2. We also did that with many other fundamental scientific theories to get a higher grade. Later I learned the experiment building they built for us was a huge cash grab. That's the way the relatives of the officials take cash out of the government. We were all liars and hypocrites. They cared for money, and we cared for our grades, and the system just keep working. So that's how I understood how academia works basically. Be me. Watching TV with family. Commercial break comes on. No one cares, they're on their phones. Suddenly an ad for a food delivery service starts. Without saying a word my entire family immediately gets up from their seats and begins mimicking the dance moves from the commercial. Commercial ends. They sit back down and return to looking at their phones. Hours later overhear my sister in the shower whistling the jingle. Sneak my head into the bathroom and notice she's doing the dance as well. Is this part of some kind of deep state psyop?